Welcome back, fiber friends. My name is Lynn. I am the dyer behind ChickenLadyFiberArts, and this is yarn twiddling number 39, take 6. I tried to upload last night. That wasn't working. When I recorded again and I listened to myself to start editing, I sounded very muffled. It just wasn't good. So I did what any normal person would do. I slept on it and woke up this morning, went to dye, and here I am again, take 6 or maybe take 26. I can't remember. Welcome. The yarn twiddling number 39, take whatever. This one we're going to go with. Okay. This is my little spot in the world where I like to talk about yarn dyeing and knitting and whatever is going on with my life. You can find me at ChickenLadyFiberArts.com. I am also on the interwebs. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, and I have a very, very small presence on Ravelry. I go to Ravelry mostly to look for patterns, and that's it. I don't do any of the forums or anything like that. So I spend as little time on Ravelry as possible. It is Wednesday, March 11th. I am today in my office. I did have something hanging back here, but it was still too busy. I didn't want the back to look too busy. I brought my plant up. This is my Monstera deliciosa something. Monstera plant, meaning monster. And I will talk about that during Knowledge Blessings. Okay, at the end of January, I don't know if you remember, excuse the wiggling, my table is not steady. And I had a yarn that I was going to give away, and it never happened because I pulled a name out and the person never got back to me. I was going to give them the color called Technicolor, and that was the February 2026 colorway. The person never got back to me, so I'm going to pull another name out of my wonderful bag. This was made for me by hand and machine, but this was made for me by Mama Nevin, and you could find her over on the Mama Nevin YouTube channel. She makes bags. She has we have never met in person, but I just know that she's like my older sister, my big sister that I never had, and I just adore her. She lives in Southern California, near where we used to live. We never met. Can you imagine? Oh, and she also has a son named Scott. Great name. So I put everybody's name in here. I'm just going to pull out another tag, and hopefully this next person will contact me. I do have the February 26th Technicolor yarn already boxed up. All I have to do is smack a label on it. When I made this video earlier, there were 2 cards that were stuck together. So what I did was I refolded all of the cards and none of them are sticking together. And I'm going to pull again. So they're in here. I have mixed them many, many times. And I'm going to use this one right here, whatever it is. See if I can open it up one-handed. Algonquin Princess. Whoever you are, go ahead and email me at chickenladyfiberarts@gmail.com and send me your mailing address and let me know I won the Technicolor colorway. Okay, next thing I wanted to show was the exceptionally exclusive Yarn Club colorway for March. And I have a few of these left in the shop. I always dye a few extra. Ba-ba-da-da! This is called Sentimental Journey. This is the 1940s colorway. Now, during the 40s, 1939 through 1945, we were at war again, and that was World War II. This colorway shows a little bit of the khaki, and it shows for the uniforms, and it shows the blues and reds. Now the blues are for the victory gardens, for the posters that were up all over the place saying Uncle Sam wants you, and for the Rosie the Riveter, you can do it posters. And then the red is for bright red lipstick that the gals in the 1940s wore. Well, my mother wore that bright red lipstick until the day she died, but it was very common for women to wear bright red lipstick so that they can show their solidarity with the guys that were overseas in Europe, in the Pacific, and also in North Africa. So this is called Sentimental Journey. It was named Sentimental Journey after the song Sentimental Journey, and Doris Day made that song famous. It was the #1 song, or it was her first #1 hit, excuse me, in 1945, and it was kind of an anthem to the returning veterans. So, Sentimental Journey, red, a little bit of whites, and khaki and blue. Love it. I'm just going to throw stuff on the floor over here if you don't mind. Okay, shop news. I have some new colorways to show you. You know that I have been dyeing the March colorways. Again, this is going to move. I'm sorry. I have a little tub full of yarn here.
Birthday, the month. This is the month of March.
I've been doing the birth month birthstones. Sorry. This was garnet for January. That's January's birthstone. This is amethyst for February's birthstone. Of course, that's my favorite because I'm a February baby. And that the third is for March, and this is aquamarine. It is a kind of a robin egg blue with a bit of green on it. And I think it's just gorgeous. Splendorific, as the kids say. Somebody asked me over in the Telegram group if aquamarine would go well with teal'c. I'm sorry, that's not the right one. Teal'c. I'm making a lot of mistakes today. I don't have my teleprompter on. I just have everything on a little piece of paper down here. Sorry. Not sorry. I'm sorry for saying I'm sorry. Okay, teal'c, aquamarine. Here are the two of them together. What do you think? I really like it. I think that would be fabulous. Fabulous mosaic color work, or some kind of color work, or you put the light on the dark for a sweater, or the dark on the light for socks, heels, toes, cuffs, maybe, who knows. I love these two colors together. And yes, aquamarine and teal'c do go together. Teal'c, that's a character on Stargate, for those of you who may never have watched that. New colorways are Cluster of Clovers, a nice March colorway, and next week is St. Patrick's Day, as you know. I dyed the same thing in the same pot, and this is on my summery fingering base. This is a 50% superwash merino and a 50% Pima cotton blend. And you can see how the cotton does not pick up the color, but the merino does. So you've got a very light colored look. This, of course, is my super soft sock, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. I am going to make a sweater out of this color because I love it. Just love it. So this is Cluster of Clovers. I messed up somewhere and I made a cluster of oops, which you might see online. Some more green. I went with a little bit of a brighter green. This is kind of a celery green. And this is called Trust the Science. And so you've got some lighter colors and some darker colors and a few little speckles, but not so much as to overrun the colorway. Trust the science. You're going to see that I'm using a lot of greens and some sayings that can be taken two different ways. This is called Tone Deaf, which is a gorgeous, yummy sagebrush green and some little pops of color called Tone Deaf. If you ever sit beside me, or we stand in church, if you ever stand beside me and hear me sing, you'll know that I'm a little bit tone deaf. I've got two more to show you. This one is called Gray Rockin'. This is the merino nylon base. And this is the summery fingering. Again, same colorway, but you can see how the difference of the merino content and the cotton content change the colors. This is the fun, exciting part about dyeing that I love, that you can actually, the different colors and different fibers take up color differently. Love it. Last one is called Mauser. Now, you could tell by this picture of Mauser that he is a little bit of a sassy guy. Mauser is not my cat, but he has passed away, and my friend asked me to make a tribute yarn of him. So I have, and the tribute yarn and the pre-sales for this tribute yarn Mauser will close next week. I think I'm going to do it on March 19th. Will be the last day to order this. And 10% of all sales of Mauser will be donated to our local no-kill cat shelter. This is the no-kill shelter where we got Buddy, Oliver, and Milo. Speaking of which, Milo last night never came inside. He usually comes in at nighttime. We went to bed. We were out there with flashlights. We went out the street to make sure he wasn't a grease spot, and we could not find him anywhere. He didn't come in when he was being called. So we went to bed around 9:30, and this morning I went outside to feed the chickens, and I said, "Come here, chicken, 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 chicken." And here comes Milo. He had a walkabout. He had a sleepover with one of his friends. I don't know where he was, but he came home. And also, I'm looking down here at my notes. Speaking of Oliver, I put a picture of him up last week on Instagram, and I asked for prayers for him. If you remember, he went to the vet and he had 10 teeth removed. He had some rotten teeth up here. We could see the inflamed gums up on his left side. Got the results of his biopsy back, and he does have cancer. It's not good, but the cancer right now, the tumor might be operable. We're not sure yet. It seems to be in the back of his jaw, kind of hitting up to his sinuses. The good news is it is not a spreading malignant tumor, so that's good. It will remain localized, but it will grow, and as it grows, might grow up into his sinuses and up into his brain. As you know, cats usually have like 3 brain cells, and they all share them. So we want Oliver to at least be able to use the 1 brain cell that he has for a long time. So keep your prayers up. We are going to have a consultation with the surgeon and see if he recommends surgery. or not, or if we're just going to do palliative care from here to the end of Oliver's life. He was relinquished at the age of 8, and we got him about 3 months after he had been relinquished. I don't know why he was relinquished. He is the best boy ever. He will tell you that. However, we would like to have him around for, 5, 6, 7 more years. In my reading life, I do like to read. I gave up scrolling my phone when I am in bed. I didn't give it up completely, but I no longer look at my phone for hours and hours and hours. Instead, I usually check a few things, play a game of solitaire, and then put my phone out in the hallway, not even in the bedroom, in the hallway, so that I cannot be tempted. Because the phone, it's addictive for me. It's very addictive. So I've been reading, and I finished a couple of books for the month of February. This one, Where the Crawdads Sing. Now, I read part of it, and I listened to part of the audiobook. Loved both. The thing about this book is that you think it's over, and you think, I got like 3 or 4 more chapters to go. I'm just going to skip them because I know how the story ends. No, you don't. You have to read all the way to the last page because there's a humdinger in there, and it's glorious. And then you have to go back to the rest of the book and think, so she did or did not do the thing that so-and-so was accused of doing when she said that she wasn't. Y'all, it's a wonderful book. The second book was The Many Lives of Mama Love. And this is read by Laura Love Hardin, who is the author. So I thought, Mama Love, that sounds kind of weird. No, it's a gal's last name. It's like me being Mama Lynn. I could be Mama Lynn. Oh, I am a mama. Cool. Anyhow, this is a memoir, and I did listen to it. It is author read, so she puts all of the inflections where they need to be. And it is her memoir tracing her life as a suburban soccer mom and heroin addict. I don't know how you combine those two. Then she was convicted of a felon, thrown into prison at the age of 41. Again, I don't know how she did that with all of the kids. I think she had 3 kids, 5 kids. She had a lot of kids. And then she finally becomes a ghostwriter. Well, this story talks about her time before prison, during prison, after, how she builds community, finds redemption, and then overcomes the stigma of being a convict. Very good read. I highly, highly, highly recommend this. And with as many books as I read, I don't often say, this is a good one, you must read it. This is one of those. Okay, funny story. I'm going to my home life now. Kind of a funny story. In the end of January, beginning of February, our daughter had the crud. It was that nose just feeling bleh, yuck. Husband got it around that time, and he is still sick. Daughter got rid of it after about a week. I had it for less than 30 hours, lucky me. And my husband still sick. Well, he's finished his 2nd course of antibiotics. We're hoping he's on the mend now. However, on Monday, the 2 of them independently both said to me, I'm feeling really tired. I just can't get going. I slept really late today. And I looked at them and I said, do you think it has something to do with the time change? Both of them, again, independent of each other, looked at me and said, there was a time change? All right. That is all I have for you today. I have one more thing to tell you. And this is my knowledge blessing for you. As you know, I love to give a little snippet, a little knowledge blessing for you to kind of mull over and say, oh, I didn't know that. And a knowledge blessing in our home is when you learn something, maybe not for the first time, but you want to share that knowledge. You're blessing the other person with knowledge. So I am going to bless you with knowledge. And Jason, I know that you're listening because you used the word wriggle properly when describing your younger brother. Jason said, oh my goodness, my brother is being a wriggle. And his dad says, what are you talking about? And Jason says, don't you watch the knowledge blessing of Auntie Chicken Lady? That's what he calls me. And I'm glad that you're learning what a wriggle of worms is. By the way, did you know, my husband told me this last night, a group of ladybugs, it's called a loveliness. Now you know. Okay, my knowledge blessing. This is my newest plant. This is a Monstera deliciosa. A monster because of the huge leaves, and deliciosa because it does produce a fruit that takes a year to ripen. I don't think that I'm going to wait that long if mine does bear fruit. But I got this plant and it only had 3 stems on it, 3 leaves I mean, and now I don't know if you can see it right here. I've got a new little leaf about to unfurl. This is also known as the Swiss cheese plant, because it has little holes in the leaves. And the little holes are called fenestrations. Say that 12 times fast. The holes help it when it is in the rain. It helps the water get down through those leaves and onto the ground. It helps it withstand heavy rain and wind in the wild. This is native to Central America, and they can grow up to 60 feet tall out in the wild. That's about 6 stories high, a 6-story high building. That's really, really tall. And here in our house, it'll probably grow to 6 or 10 feet tall if I don't kill it before then. Because, you know, sometimes I have a brown thumb. Friends, that is all I have for you today. Make it a great, I still am not able to speak. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And thank you so much for watching. I know that you have a choice and of what you put into your ears and your eyes. And thank you for choosing me. May God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.